I'm Tim Herrera with the Sacramento County Office of Education, here with another Teacher of the Year profile. We are speaking with Sharon Smith, who is one of 2 Teachers of the Year from the Twin Rivers Unified School District. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us first a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you teach and what you teach.
Well, I teach in the Twin Rivers Unified School District, and I've been teaching for about 22 years. I'm currently teaching 3rd grade, but I have taught 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, with looping up to the next grade level a couple of times.
Tell me what looping up means.
Well, looping up means that you have a group of students, you are their teacher, and then you continue that education into the next grade level with different curriculum, but same students.
And why is that done?
Well, there's a few reasons that you would want to do that. One is just the relationships that you've built with those students. You know those students now. You know who they are, their personalities, their learning styles, and they know you. And with that, you can build, through those relationships, you can build on your curriculum and have more success.
And explain a little bit more about the relationship and the impact that you have when you start with a student and carry that student through 4 different grade levels.
Well, teachers are really just a part of a triad. Those students, they are a part of a family. And of course that family wants only the best for those students. And so when you have those students in your classroom, you actually do become part of that family in a sense, because it's part of their growing up process. And so it's important to not only get to know them as your student in the classroom, but what I like to do is I like to get to know them as a person, and I want them to get to know me as a person. And I spend a lot of time going to music recitals, sporting events, so that I can see them outside the academic world, because I want to see them as a whole child, so that I can get to know a little bit more about who they are as a learner, but also who they are as a person.
How important is it to have that kind of a strong relationship with a student and with a student's family?
I think it's really important because it helps you know their limitations and be able to move beyond those limitations, to know their successes. And also, it helps you to see where their interests lie, where their strengths are, and help guide them in some of the choices that they make as they kind of further their academic career.
It's almost like a surrogate family member when you reach a certain point.
Almost. And I think it's real important, especially today, that you help those parents to bridge that academic relationship, because they're busy. Life is busy today, and parents are out there, they're working, they have other kids in the family, and it's really important as a teacher that you're able to keep in contact with them, let them know what their child is doing, how they're achieving. And as you know that parent, let's say you've looped up and they've known you longer now, they trust you. They know who you are, they know where you're coming from, they know your style of teaching, and all of that really creates a real comfortable thing for the whole group, as a package. And so I really like that relational part, because that's really, really important to them being successful as they go on through their academic career.
But for some students, when they start off in that first year, they think, for 4 years I'm going to have this teacher. That's part of building a relationship. That
could be part of building the relationship, absolutely. But when you're in a family, you don't look at your mom and dad and say, oh my gosh, I got to have them for the rest of my life. You get over that obstacle. You move on. You find areas where you connect and where you're going to have successes. And you learn to problem solve, and you learn to look over things. It's just like in a family.
So what are some special things you might do in your classroom for motivation for some of your students? Because some obviously are more motivated than others at times.
I would probably tell you that if you were to talk to someone from my class, they would say to you, you just never know what Mrs. Smith is going to do. I like to become what we're going to do. It's not uncommon for me to show up one day and I'm dressed as a character from a book, and I'm reading that book. There's a book called The Incredible Miss Smith, which just happens to be my name. And I come dressed as her one day, and they're just like, what the heck? Oh. It's nothing for them to come back from lunch and I say, everybody up on the table, that's your ship today. We're going on a trip just like the Pilgrims did. Get all of your things up on the table because that's your ship and you're taking all your belongings with you. that experiential part of it is really an important piece because it gets them excited, it gets them motivated, it gets them curious about what it's like, and it also helps to make it a little bit more authentic. And now, with the technology piece that's coming in, there's just so much realia that's out there that is at our fingertips that we can get through the internet or using some sort of technological device. It's really exciting times.
And it's got to be more than just a teacher talking and a child listening.
Absolutely. Students have to be the owners of their learning. Teachers' role is really changing nowadays. Teachers are really the facilitator of the learning, and the students are the learners. But you know, there's a flip side to that too, because there's parallel learning going on. Because information is multiplying at such a speed, and devices are being created at such an alarming speed for me that I'm also a learner. And so it's nothing for me to let my students know I'm learning how to use this, or I'm learning how to do this, and have them watch me. And I have a conversation with them so that they can hear inside my head, oh, you're still a learner when you're an adult? You mean you don't know everything? No, you're a lifelong learner. I think that that's something that's really important because they respect that. And I think it's important for them to know that this is a process that you're going to go through the rest of your life.
So we talked about kind of motivating the students a little bit. What about motivating some of the families? Because that's kind of difficult, because you said families are often way too busy to get too involved.
They're way busy. You know, I really think that the relation part that I talked about, being there and seeing the students in their own environment with their families, that's a really important part. And you know, honestly, you can't do that with every family, but you can put that piece out there and say, I'm willing to come and see these things, making phone calls, you know, so that they can see you as a person too. I think that's real important because it's really, today, it's about prioritizing. And when parents know you and they've gotten to see you come to different events, all of a sudden when a flyer comes home and says there's a project-based learning night tonight, you're going to be higher on that priority list. It's going to be more of a priority for them to say, you know, let's go and see what's going on there, than if it's just something that happens at school somewhere back over there. So that's really an important piece. The internet, I mean, we've got text messaging. There's so many ways to keep in contact with parents. It doesn't just have to be about the parents being there physically. It can be virtual.
So what motivated you to become a teacher? What inspired you?
You know, that's funny. That word inspired came up earlier today, and I can't really say that being a teacher was something that I was inspired to do. It's really more about a good fit for me. I've done a lot of other things. I've worked in retail, I've worked in food services, I've volunteered at different places, but every time children were involved, I came back to that because it was a good fit. It felt good, it felt natural, it felt right. And so I think it was more about it being a good fit than being inspired to be a teacher.
So what would you say to those folks who are considering teaching as a career?
I'd say try it on, see if it fits. Go to places where there are kids, volunteer at school, go to the library and be a part of the reading program there. Get in the classroom, talk to teachers and see what are their concerns. You know, have something under your belt before you go to school and you commit yourself and you're halfway there and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm committed. Try it on and see if it fits. You wouldn't go to the store and buy a pair of shoes off the shelf and buy them and take them home and, oh, they don't fit, but I got to wear them because I bought them. You want them to be comfortable.
And now there are more opportunities for student teaching and volunteering where you can try on the hat, basically.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then don't forget the technology piece. You can get online. You can hear teachers speak. You can go to all kinds of forums and find out things, ask questions.
And teaching has changed a lot since you've started. Teaching
has changed a lot. I was just telling someone today that when I started teaching, I had a blackboard, chalk, and an eraser. And now I have a smart board, I have computers, there's podcasts, there's so many things that are so different. It's an exciting time to be a teacher. It really is.
It's constantly evolving.
Constantly evolving. And you better be willing to evolve with it or it's going to wash over you like a wave.
Well, congratulations on your honor as being named one of the 2 Teachers of the Year from the Twin Rivers Unified School District.
Thank you. I'm very excited
We've
about
been speaking with Sharon Smith. Congratulations.
Thank you.